There are so many dishes that come from various culinary cooks, and now a newcomer approaches with his own. Some of them can be very unusual, but they can be very interesting. You might think it's an odd combination, but in the end, you'll find it's delicious.
This is Cooking with Carsyn.
For today's dish, the Italian sub.
Hello to all you cooking enthusiasts out there. I'm Carsyn Cunningham, and welcome to another episode of Cooking with Carsyn. And for today's dish, we are going to be making the Italian sub. Now, there are a few things for you to do until we get on with the show. Make sure you have all the ingredients lined up on your table, with a chopping board and some knives. Make sure to pause this video too if you're ready, or if you don't feel like it, then you can just watch the video for entertainment. And now I'm done with all this talking, let's get right to it. For this, I'm going to be using a small sub roll, and I'm going to cut it in half. And you need to cut straight and perfect, and if you don't get it right, you'll end up with a curved line, or maybe just a few lumps or half an edge. If it doesn't turn out the way that it's supposed to, start over with a new one. And if you did exactly like I did, then it's perfect. And now we're going to be adding some meat first to our sandwich. I'm starting off with some delicious pepperoni slices. If those big slices are not your speed, then you can just add little ones instead, like you put on a pizza. And when you're done with your first half, you can now put in some freshly sliced ham. And now we're putting in some big slices of salami. And no sandwich would be complete without cheese, as you add in some provolone. 2 slices, that is. Now we're going to put our delicious meat and cheese sandwich on a baking pan. Place it in the oven for 10 minutes in 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Oh, and make sure you put everything away, okay? And when the 10 minutes is finally up, you can now take your sandwich out of the oven. You notice that there's starting to be a difference, with the cheese being all melted, and the salami changed from a light to a dark pink. And now, we place our sandwich on a plate. And when you're placing food on a plate, it can be regular fine china or just a paper plate. Also, it doesn't matter which one you choose, you can prefer either one. If you already know the Italian sub inside and out, you already know the proper veggies that you add to it, such as the red, ripe tomatoes, the leafy green lettuce, and most important, regular onions. Make sure you chop up all these veggies in the exact proper order so it might fit in your sandwich. And when you're all done, you're complete. You're all set to put all the veggies in that sandwich. Let's get right to it. We start off by putting in the sliced tomatoes, green lettuce, and the onions. Like all Italian subs, they use spices, but for this one, I'll be using regular salt and pepper. Of course, it wouldn't be complete without Italian dressing, so make sure you pour in a little bit, or else, if you're not careful, it'll be overflowing. I just had to pop by the fridge for a moment because I've forgotten the one important thing you need to add to this sandwich: mayonnaise. Of course, it's important to note that I can't do this alone without my trusty little buddy, the butter knife. Make sure to grab a little glob of mayonnaise and put it on top of the ceiling. It's also important to note that I did a poor job of showing this on camera. Thankfully, you can get a whole idea of what I'm just doing right now. And when you're all finished, you can finally add the roof on top of your house. And then you have your sandwich fully complete. Of course, like all sub sandwiches, they have to be cut in half so you can eat different halves of it. Of course, all of you already know how to use a knife properly by cutting things in half. And now I'm going to show you the cross sections of this sandwich, which I did a poor job of showing on camera gracefully. And I have to admit, after taking a bite out of the first half, it actually tasted like an actual Italian sub that you get from a local sandwich shop. And I have to fully admit, it tasted pretty good. Very, very good. And now that we're through here, I can finally show you what this sandwich looks like now in a perfect camera shot, which I done terrible at. Thank you for watching another episode of Cooking with Carsyn, and I'll see you all next time.